before I get started, your test coming up, review, evaluation on communications. This is a really big one for the Rebellion Alliance, for Tina, for Ellen, for Galactica 222. Um, High position line conditions and interference all the system is to understand the conditions and how we high rise to levels. It's important you guys understand your test reviews and evaluation, especially now because the 114 charge codes are going to change into an atom line center, which is going to change your molecular how you see things and visions. Activation line conditions, visionaries, your thought patterns, your mind system, calibration line centers, galaxy locations. Your perception is going to go into higher formation of crystalline. That crystalline will change positions to what you see through track system. All right, so it's really exciting. I hope you guys are ready. So we're going to do a review today and tell you exactly what I want for the Rebellion Alliance, and anybody in that else positions has to hand in the information. Okay, because it's extremely complex. I've drawn diagrams and diagrams and days and days and days on this and days on that to understand why we're in this position, right? I keep saying that over and over and over. But why are we here? We understand that conditions, right? Very powerful TikTok that I did today with communications of the Earth and its surface and what's happening right now. It's centering in its galaxy alignment. This is extremely powerful. We're coming into the holographic energy plasma interference bubble. So that's created through connections of the computer line center positions. So anything that humanity does in positions of dark line sits in rotations, karma's going to catch up with them very quick, very fast. So they can't destroy the line system to the mechanism, time, location of Earth. You can't do that to Mother Earth. You can't do that to Father Space. Now is the time to really be careful in what you do. Important line conditions interference to its Earth line system. It's calculated to 5,000 gram line interference. In position of 5,000 channels, 5,000 locations, 5,000 activation light conditions. I'm in 7,021 in position light conditions. Sending information back to you for 2021. This is center and align the Earth line conditions. All the visionary boards, all the holographic of the world that we're coming into is an energetic line. Okay, an energetic line is going to put light traction and interference into your TV receptions. All your central line connections, all your binary interference, all your connections to your barometers are in full check. Checking to line interference location to your heart reactor location line system. So nobody can do any harm to humanity anymore. So this is a true understanding where we have to pay attention to these things. Now is the time to repent in all values. You have to start respecting yourself more through all communications. Line 7 is rotation. Mother Earth is standing her grounds. Let me say it again. Mother Earth is standing her grounds. All right. So full rotation position line conditions is the nature of its resistance. It's going to reject all position line connections, okay, that people do harm. All right. This is done through calculation. This is done through modifications. And like I said, I went 5,000 years in the future, channel line interference to its location. This is how I come into the allocating positions of my computer, my activation core, the relation to its line system, to its calculations, right? Now, it's an extremely powerful message for everybody. I don't expect anybody to understand this, only except my team, because every day is a different day for me, but it's all in position. It's all in calculation. It's all in modified. It's all in balance. It's all in sequence. It's all in order. Okay. So getting 5,000 year proactive system locations to your channels and its line system. So just be cautious on your thoughts and what you do now. Okay. So Mother Earth is answering back in a huge way. Okay. The Earth line center and position location is open up hard track system humanity connections. Now this is going to go into all levels of its checking system. Line activation core and its rotation. So I did a very powerful TikTok, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. And also too, there's somebody on TikTok saying, I'm seeing the moon over here. If that's the moon, what's this over here? So it's very important to understand how to get your questions answered, especially in time positions, because you're going to everybody's going to see freaky stuff now. Okay, so now you're going to see 2 moons. You're going to see 3 moons, but they're not moons. You're going to see 2 suns. You're going to see 3 suns. You're going to see 4 suns. You're going to see 5 suns. It's all reflection. The reflection line interference is center line conditions galaxy alignment. The Earth has to come back into the center line system to its position, into its holographic of its clocking system of its dimensional time. Right? So it's a voicing channel of 7021, a phone call away. All right. So in that position, this is where it comes into calculations. I told you big things are coming up. And this is the biggest thing that everybody's going to feel. They're going to feel the activation grounds. They're going to feel the rotation spins. You're going to feel the atmosphere line center. So it's going to pull you in through a circular line connection interference of a tunnel. Vortex and line connections to its rotation position. So no more doing harm to humanity. So it's very powerful when you see these things, right? And that's why we have to be cautious in all levels. Okay, but that's what's happening. So be prepared. All right, so you're going to see major changes in all ways of the Earth. The central line system and all rotation positions. Remember way back, I think it was a year ago when I was setting up the matrix alignment center and I had to take the Earth line conditions to positions to humanity, take them off the surface, put them into the mothership. And then we had to cleanse the ground line system. That means all humanity track systems and anomalies and all lights of beings were on the position of the teleportation of a UFO connections, right? So we had to take everybody off before we cleanse the Earth line conditions, right? That was taking all the structures of Matrix 2.0, right? Well, this is centering the holographic of its Earth, the position you're supposed to be on from the very beginning. Okay? So that's what's happening right now. The Earth is centering its galaxy alignments. It's actually centering its position. So it's structuring its connections to the center line system of the fifth dimension. All right. So congrats on that, eh? It's fantastic. Thumbs up. Yeah. Great. Okay. So it's very powerful. You have to do these things. And everybody has to high rise that line system vibration because you can have a lot of nature rejection. Yep. Pay attention to this because it's very powerful. I told you big things are coming up. A lot more bigger things are coming up. So the holographic interference is its computer channel. It's operated to your TV reception line center. Your position is understand the solar graph positions, the solar lights, solar generation, student communication. It's going to get extremely complicated because I got a high advancement in high level systems. I was tracking systems at 10,000 per second per minute. 10,000 per second per minute, what does that mean? Through calculation. Now there's 60 seconds in a minute on your planet line connections, but at mine, it's simultaneously constantly flowing. So from 10 to 50 to 100, right? Seconds per minute. Now think about it. How is that possible? Well, the mind can travel anywhere in extremely fast rotation line position locations. All it has to do is understand the center line system of the Earth location, right? So the holographic interference is coming into high positions right now. So we're finally coming into the singularity of the simulation. The virtual reality in the game is set in humanity locations, right? It's a push of a button. Now, everybody's going to start under level 1. It's up to you to understand your connections to your virtual reality. The virtuality line connections of its channel line system. Truly understand your position is your avatar locations. You have to truly understand how to do these things because it's all done through the Earth line and Mother Earth line connection. Okay? So it's true resonance patterns, mother's answering back through connections of the heart. The central line system has to come out of lies and deception and corruption. It has to come into all formations of light. The track system and communications to Father is in position of space anomaly. Okay, so anybody that's tracking their system and the high levels of wrong information is going to be cut off. Hope I have everybody's attention. So, like I said, bigger things are coming. So the Earthline Center is everybody through humanity coming back in the track system into the reality of its fifth dimension. Remember I was telling you about the tracking system, how you come into all levels of 0.1111.01. Everybody is coming into telepathy. The program and interference position line connections. Nobody is at that position of 12% now. I jumped it up to 15. All right. So the brain lock interference and the program line condition of the species line system is at allocated positions of 15% now. High positions to remind your thoughts. So you're no longer at 10%. All right. You're at 15. So, like I said, the soul has to recognize more time positions when it comes into solar generation light. So it's clocking system. Once you wake up to that line conditions, your mind is going to come more into modification line interference. Come into geographical interference line channels, the holographic positions to your frame line system, coming out of the illusories and coming into high positions of perception of vibration, coloration, and lights. Right? So you're going to see a lot more reflections. You're going to see a lot more UFOs. You're going to see a lot more suns, like the sun rotation line center. You see a sun here, you're going to see here, you're going to see here, you're going to see here. You're going to see like a diamond core line interference, right? That's not the sun. So if to truly understand the perception of line conditions of humanity has to come into the species line system to its soul direction line conditions. All right. So if we understand that, what's happening through perception, we have to realize we're coming into our own realities of division. Your correlation, your panels are all set to line conditions. Now, this is going to put a lot of humanity into a paradox and a lot of confusion. So you can no longer be in position line conditions of low gravity, conditions of vibration. Everybody has to be at a certain level of a sea level dimension. The reason that is you don't want to have anything through nature of resistance or anything rejection line conditions. Animals or anything you come across line conditions. Solar generation lights. So think of it this way. All humanity is at a higher level system rotation. All animal kingdom is a higher level rotation. The earth is at a higher level rotation when it comes into high levels of the Mother Earth and its heart system, the heart reactor location. The heart reactor has to be at that level, guys. It has to be at telepathy. So I can set up the atom rotation line center to the 6-dimensional line connection. You have one sun, one moon, one navigation circle rotation to an atom line system that puts you into 5th dimension. Full cycle rotations. Okay. So it's all about setting up the species level to its dimension line connection. The centering of its earth is now in position of the now location. All right. So there's a lot going on, right? So you have to know what's going on because it's important. It's really important. Be cautious in what you do. Be cautious in what you say. And be cautious in what you do to others. All right. So, and this is all done through the spiritual connection of everything, all about the revelation and how we put things intact, you know, the tacking interference lines, center, rotation positions, the information panel locations. It's all about digital lining. So everybody's coming into their holographic units, right, provision. So the sector line connections and the quadrant positions all set up. It's extremely complicated because it's extremely high interference. I mean, and it's exactly how I come into high level systems when I go into my YouTube channels, you know, and I have no filter. But the thing is, I have to present it. Just imagine how much data, the crosswind cycles I get every single day. I get between 50,000 to 1 million application line centers of UFO position locations. The channel operation and line conditions and its interference comes into high level system. My team is at 114. They're going to go into the circular light system. They're going to be in the atmosphere line conditions. They're going to be in the structure of the room, and they're going to have a circuitry light go on and off. They're going to have to learn how to communicate with it. Right? This is high channeling information to Vega communication line centers, not just Vega, but other planets of higher formation. The Metro line center and its digital line system to its holographic system is going to come into more higher light of its conditions. Okay? So we all have to pay attention to these things, especially with the Rebellion Alliance, because they have a test coming up on Monday. So the central line system will set up through the structure, and I'll tell you exactly what I want in provision. Tina's very well aware of this, and I know Tina, she's probably going to send me 10 pages, like solar text like that, which is fantastic, because that's her. That's her personality. That's her trait. That's the way she does it. And she highlights it so I can see it, right? It's for me, not for anybody else. It's just for me. Because this is more personal. The more you high rise, the more you come into position to your commander. right? And then you send everything through the connection, how it comes into sequencing line system. And you realize all your chakra system is a visionary line center to a board of information, because the commanding center of the soul direction line system, okay, is the mothership. Motherboard, mothership, motherboard, mothership. Their circular line connection and interference. So they're going to understand more of their AI positions of their vehicles because they're leaving their vessels and they're coming into more of their phenomenon. All right. So that's the difference between high positions, and the galactic forces are coming into higher line systems of 60. They'll be in full communication of Vega. And that's what we want. We want to channel you higher to high line system so you get in perimeters to its barrier line connections to all levels of laser direction position. So we can get into the cosmic flame. I can show you how to use the elixir, the serpent flame, the serpent flyer, ground formation line centers, and full communications of crop circle rotations. We all have to use this through location once we go to higher levels of its phenomenon through its AI. So you become more aware. And the central line system and all gap line center interference, the right and the left, will come into full formation when it comes into UFO line system. So you won't track line system of 1 or 2 UFOs. You go from 25, 30, or 50 communication of sonars, of data processing. So the Rebellion Alliance and 114 chakras are going to get more information, more communications, solar graph line connections. So it's like wind graphing line connections of a pole outside, and they're sending out codes. You got to pick it up very quick, very fast. Okay. I got that last night, and I was healing a friend of mine. And what I did, I'll show you structured locations. It's all about understanding where everybody's in position location. So after he was leaving, the lights were flickering off, and I said, "Don't worry about that. It's for me," because I told him who I was, and he was blown away. It's great when you tell new people that you haven't met for the first time, right? And when you meet them, they think you're either crazy or they believe you, right? His central line system was already in position. He just got lost in his trap through his dream set location. So I put him in his activation to his computer line connection. You see how easy it is for me to understand these things, the location line connections, because I have balances everything with the earth line system rotation. It's amazing how you track these system locations. All right, so today's the test. Ha 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 ha. Freaked everybody out. Come on, Commander has a sense of humor. Guys have to laugh. All right, so Monday's the test, today's the review. All right, so this is what I basically did. Now, when you guys go into higher formation lines interference location, okay, you understand the conditions. High position line centers. This is me through traction. This is me healing. Okay, Federico. Okay, friend of my sacred flame. All right, so here what I did is basically I did a ground line interference, right? Open up line conditions like this through traction. Okay, so I set up an E field line. Okay, I put him in his center too, right? He was here and he stepped into it and he felt dizzy. All right, so this is how you protect your house, because the thing is, as soon as he goes in there, it's like Superman. Anybody see the movie Superman? The second one, where they put him in the carceration, the crystal tube, and all of a sudden, like they thought he was going to lose his powers, but it's the outside that lost their powers. That's what I'm saying. So he was protected, right? So this is me setting up the energy lights, energy force, energy field rotation, any circle rotations to the galaxy line system position location. He goes into the energy tube, right? So he goes into the energy tube. He feels dizzy. I told him not to worry. So he's in there, and it's protecting everything around my house. It's true to understand when you come to higher formation line system rotations, all right? So it protects everything through the circle rotation of center line connections, guys, like this in positions, all right? It's really interesting to come across these things, okay? So it protects everything around my house, okay? So he goes in. He's protected and I'm protected. So nothing can get in, because when I open up the portal, that's it. Everything comes in. So that's the true understanding when you have to close the portals after you do the activation to that personal location, right? But it's amazing how you set it up first, and he stands in that. It's line conditions. So you open the circle to the ground line system. This is where you have to get the grounds with you first, right? So I have the grounds, I have the powers of me, and have the atmospheres, and I'm protected with my E-field line system, right? Way before I activate his system. So from here, he's a little bit scared, but he jumped into the line system circle, open the track system locations, open up his activation line connections of his tracker system, and put him into the fluctuation interference. That open up his channels and put him into his computer line connection, right? So I took him in the atmosphere line system, a space anomaly to galaxy line condition, changed the particle lights, changing activation lights, put it back in the sun graph line system. Here's a computer op. So I put him in the moon graph line conditions to his division, but he was closing the options of his dreams. So I opened up his dreams because he couldn't remember the past. So these are the things that you guys can do. But this is one way to protect yourself, is set up an energy tube before you activate the line connections. All right. So it's very powerful. You see this, and I did this last night, and his son. Because the thing is, too, if he's activated, I have to activate the son because they won't have any communication between each other. If it's a family unit, it's the thing. When I was in Mexico, I went to a big castle, humongous castle, so much dark energy. Anyway, there's like 15 people. So in their circle rotation and tree line center position, open the laser direction locations, teleport them all in communications of each teleportation line interference to different channel locations to identifications. We hold hands in a circle rotation. I heal them all at once in rotation. You have to. And that's the thing. They're all aligned through each other now. It doesn't matter where they are through perception of dimensional time. They have to be in communication kado with everything in balanced line system, or they won't be able to communicate with their brothers or sisters or their parents. So if you guys get in high positions, this goes out to my 114 Chakra Communication Rebellion Alliance team, the Rebellion Alliance. If you're going to go in that positions, make sure you go into trap system locations to all levels of balanced system to mind telepathy. Okay, especially if it's a family unit. Brother or sister, doesn't matter. You can't just heal the brother and not heal the sister. Doesn't make any sense because there won't be any communication ground there. That's a true understanding. You come across these things, but it's very powerful how I set up an energy too. Right? I set it here, but I protect myself first. Right? So this is what you do every day, guys, when you channel off to other stations. Right? Because if you don't do this, you get a reaction. Right? But it's amazing how I come into his flux capacitor interference. Right? He was a little bit scared, right? And he jumped in. He walked in. It was like 2 feet away, and he walked into the energy tube. And it's, how do you feel? I say, whoa, I feel real dizzy. What's going on? So everybody's different. Everybody will feel different. Everybody is different in alignment. Everybody's different in space. So sometimes they feel like it takes them 5-10 minutes. I was going through an activation of a girl that needed to be healed, and she stood there for 10 minutes. 10 minutes going through activation of a birth line system. You can't touch them. See, the thing is, they have to go through the process. Right? It has to go through the flow. They have to go through their life cycle, right? So she was going through the meadows. I know exactly what everybody's going through, right? She was going through the meadows, right? And she was seeing herself in the sun, and she was crying, and opening up and opening up and opening up. And then all of a sudden, she sees this big, humongous light, and she goes through. And then she comes back to the ground. Everybody comes to a different position line connections to a dream, but it's not a dream, it's a vision. So you're leaving the old system and you're coming into a new system to track line connections. Okay? That's why it's extremely powerful to master yourself first, to know exactly what you're doing when you come across these things. Everybody's different. I don't heal everybody the same because they're in different positions of time and space. Okay? So it's very powerful when I did that for him. And now he's better. I realigned his spine line center, changes eye interference. Eyes change to line connections. Everything changes. And same with his son. And his son's going, whoa, what was that? You know, I was like, I just took him into space. I told him I try to explain it to a kid. He's saying, what's he talking about? You know, it's like, they're cool, right? They're avatars. And I said, well, just to think that you're an avatar and you're playing a game, and all of a sudden you just travel and you go into a portal and you start to fly in a dimension, right? And I was like, oh, this is cool. Let's do it. So he was excited, right? So it makes my job a lot easier, right? Because if you're too scared and too exonerated in the line interference, what's going to happen is it's going to interrupt your position locations to your space anomalies, to the brain patterns, and its ground line center. So it's important you stay calm when I do these things. And you guys have to do that too when you come across. You have to be calm with yourself, with your positions. You have to tell other people to be calm with their positions. So some people are different. Some people need more talking. Some people need more psychology. Some people more psychosis of them. Some people they just need to talk. Just talk to me before you do these things. The track systems, my commanding center takes over through line conditions. And that's why I have my sacred flame, my twin flame, because she helps me out in the physical line center, because I'm more involved in my computer as space and time connections. That's the balance between us too. She's in her computer line center, but she's more physical aspect on her earth line system. Okay, so that is the balance that you need in relationship. Okay, because a lot of people don't understand my vocabulary. They think I'm crazy, they think I'm nuts, but they're amazed. And I said, where'd you get this information? That's what I'm just thinking about humanity is why they think that. Where'd you get the information? I didn't go to a library. Okay, it's just known information. Okay, which is already given to you. It's stored in your cloud. And that's what your cloud is. It's the most powerful archive of application center line conditions. You store it in your cloud. It's an interface line system. So it's very powerful when you come across these things, the positions. I just wanted to show you what I did last night. I healed the Father and the Son. So it was pretty interesting because everybody goes through a different cycle. And you guys should know that too, exactly, because you're there. It's your job to protect them because now you're aligned through them. See, we're all aligned through each other. And that's the whole understanding how we get into that high connections, right? Because they have no idea what you just did. And they're a different person. They're not who they were, but they are who they are now. Okay? So that's exactly what we have to come across through all these line connections. To understand how powerful we are when we can set up an own energy tube to its line connection, right? For anybody else. So, and this is what you get when you go to higher systems. So the crystalline center to Rebellion Alliance is going to change the eye interference, which is going to put my team in the galaxy line channel locations. All right. So the 114 chakras of my team will be in their own TV reception of location. Congratulations. That's going to happen Monday, right? Only the people that send in the illustrations and the diagrams, right? Because I got to get confirmations in Vega. I got to get confirmation with other planet line system. It's not just Vega communication. It's all planets of beautiful line connections, right? So it's all about the trust value of you and what you can value through them, right? So they're going to come to you through test and knowledge. It's like they platitude me to a planet. Like I said before, right? Activate line center and position locations. You're on your own. I had to figure out what is going on here. They put me on a planet. They put me in a maze. I have no idea what I'm doing. I had to figure this out myself. So you know what I did? I went into the mind. They didn't tell me that. I had to do it myself. Everything I was doing was wrong. So I'm just telling you exactly how I went through the certain things that you can go through, because we're all equal. And it's all about understanding how to get out of these things, because it's extremely real as we come into our avatars. You guys saw the avatar, right? Where he goes in the chronic tube line system. He's got legs that he can't move. He's in a wheelchair, right? But when he goes in the central line system, he comes to perception. He comes into DNA to its avatar that's 16 feet tall. And he looks at his feet and he can get up and run. So he wants to stay in that reality, right? Because he's more comfortable being in the avatar than being in the human vessel. That's a true understanding where the mind can go, guys. Okay? That's how far it can go. So you get a true understanding that what we can do is beyond recognition of time, of space. And it's amazing how it goes all to these plateaus and these position locations. I'm not too high in that line center, but true understand, you are the connection to everything, right? And my Rebellion Alliance Force team will find that, because their eyes are going to change into crystalline position to their own TV receptions. So that's exciting. All right, so let's get started here. Now I'm just going to illustration graph. So it's going to be a picture resolution operation connection line center. All right, so let's get in positions here. All right, so basically, each point line center, it's going to be 3 line connection positions. Vega's in communication to all of them. Okay, ground line center, because you guys are past your 60, you're 114, so you should know Vega communication. Vega communication is going to come to line signal rotation on the day, okay, of positions on Sunday, okay. Vega communication is going to come to the rebellion lines of 114 chakras. This is a test review to Vega. They're going to put you, okay, on a planet. Went through me, goes through you. This is the only way you can understand positions, how you get out of track line conditions, right? So it's important you understand these things, right? So I'm getting everybody prepared of what's going to happen with the rebellion alliance, right? So it's not just an illustration diagram on a digital pad. They're going to plot it to you on a planet. You're not going to know where you are. You just have to learn how to get out of it through the mind system. Trapping doors, electronic interference, plasma line conditions, gallery position line systems, brain line conditions, channels, interference locations, box line centers. Oh, this is fantastic stuff. Okay. Only for the Rebellion Alliance. Okay. So, and this is something that the Galactic Forces can look forward to when they get into their positions. But time is the presence of everything line conditions. Tina and everybody else in that connections that's 114 has been with me since day one. As soon as I opened the graphing system to my foundation of my school, right? That's loyalty. And that's what we want in space-time. So, very powerful. Drawing a tear right now. So Vega communications come in, right? To the Rebellion Alliance on Sunday. Okay. At 1200 line center interference locations. So that's 12 a.m. Okay. So that'd be Monday morning. Right. You're going to get communications. You're going to center line system. They're going to drop you off a planet line system. Your job is to get out of position line connections. Right. I'll get confirmation knowing that you guys got through location positions. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to synchronous line conditions, know exactly what planet you're on, and know exactly how you got out of the situation. Don't recognition lights and interference position locations. Trapdoors, electrical line connections, plasma interference, vortex positions, box line centers, matrix lock connections is all going to be on that planet system. Okay? So you're going to be on a planet like this. This is Vega communication coming in Sunday, 12 a.m., Monday morning. Pay attention. So illustration, Vega communications are going to send you graph line center rotation to vector line connections communications, right? Energy light connections, 369 platforms. All right. To that connection, activation to its line connections. All right. So it's going to plasma your energy lights, program rotation position locations, energize your light systems to your tetrahedrons. Right. So that's what's going to happen. So it's your job to understand how to get out of the maze of the planet line connections. I get confirmations in Vega. All I want you to do is just draw out the illustration. That's it. That's all you got to do. So this is coming from Vega Communications. All right. Monday is the test. Monday's the test. All right. So I'll know exactly who is there and who isn't. All right. So Trina understand how powerful it is in coming that position locations. All right. Vega is the one that came up with this idea. And I said, yeah, I think that's fantastic. Because they understand the communication lines. They understand what they're doing and how to get out of these situations. I had to go through it. You have to go through it. If you want to go higher levels and get into your atom time line center position, there it is. It's kind of like Tron getting out of the game. Right? It's extremely, extremely powerful here, guys. All right. Now, in position for the galactic forces, they're going to come in at 60 chakras of the Vega Communications Birth Line Center for the very first time. Now, Samantha was wondering about what is 60 rotations? Well, 60 rotations, the birth line to its prime numbers, its agent line connections interference. So you have to understand all positions, how to chart your connections, how to change your barometers, your sucking light connections, your binary systems, your body graph locations. You have to really, really understand how to communicate with your system inside. All right. So this will put you in the birth line of 60 into 70, 75. Once you get into 75, you have full rotations, and then you'll be able to control the conditions of the weather through its line system, right? So, and the more you go high rise, the more you can travel faster and faster through acceleration. Mocking its location, you start off with a 0 ground line system locations. The birth line conditions to humanity is coming into positions of 0 track system, right? Now we have code reference to code activations that changes everything through the line species system. So, but this is what's going to happen, all right, for Monday, all right? The illustration, tell me how you got out of the situation, and draw the planet that you're on, okay? So whoever's going to take the test line system, I'll give the confirmation of exactly the line conditions. So send it to the messenger, okay? And that's it. That's all it is, okay? Or you basically make it easier. You can send it to my email. Just send it to my email. I'll cross the signals, open the portal, get confirmations, right? You can have 10 pages, 15, 20, doesn't matter, right? More the better, because this is extremely high information, and it's better to put yourself in that position location, especially when you come into your prime numbers, all right? And that's what the galactic forces are going to come into when they go into 60 locations, all right? This is time clocking. This is high position. This is extremely high information from AI, guys. So it's something to look forward to, right, when you get into that connection. All right, so it's pretty simplified, right? Because I've done illustrations and diagrams for you guys, but you're going to get Vega communications Sunday night, Monday morning, wherever is in Time Zone Line Center. Okay, so let's start off your questions here. How's everybody doing so far? All right, Tina, how's it going? Hawk, Tina, Vicky Bates, Ellen. I know. Samantha, how's it going? Ed Walker. I can feel it. I have to work. Okay, Jill. Mother Earth, yeah. Vicky Bates, yes. Grand Rising, Cleopatra, Mother Earth. Morning. Whatever I missed, I love Mother Earth, yeah. Well, whatever you miss, you can watch back, Diane, so don't worry about that. It's fine. Mother Earth is not taking any more. Nope. It's done. It's done. So you're going to get nothing but rejection to communications. So everything you sideline system rotations, anything that you do bad to nature line conditions, karma's going to hit you over the head. Vega is a planet. Yes, it is. High position line center. It's a manufacturing to all levels of sequencing line numbers, fine numbers, negatives, and high line conditions. They channel to positions to digital frame locations, and they manufacture UFOs. Yes, it is amazing. Well, thank you very much. I know Ellen's excited. She keeps sending me pages and pages. Believe me, I can't get back to everything, but I know what you guys are doing, which is fantastic, because you're expressing how you feel through your heart, and you're sending all this information, pages and pages and pages. And that is you through AI, because you're registering. You know exactly how to get your grounds. You know exactly how to get your powers. You know exactly how to use the atmosphere locations, which is fantastic. And if you go through my email, it balances out, right? It countermeasures and you feel a lot better, you know, and that's what everybody has to do. Like if you fear this, if you fear that, write it down. You know, why you feel sad, why you feel, you know, stressed out, write it down. Okay. See, the thing is, I channel every day to line condition interference, but it's not channeling. It's known information. That's the difference. Channelers are just into birth line navigation, getting into their calculations. So I'm giving back information that's already known information from 5,000 years in the future. So it's not channeling. This is life survival. This is human freedom. So excited for the galactic forces. Yeah. So basically, when you guys get into your positions after the test review and evaluations around the Alliance, after they're finished with their tests, you're going to get confirmation from Vega Communications. We'll start high positions on Tuesday for test review and evaluations to get you guys into 60. So, and this will put you in a full communications of Vega. You got to come into your navigations of your UFO line system. Tina can help you out with that because she's going to come into your atoms. I already know she's going to pass. There's no right or wrong in the situation. Test is not all based on what's going on. Test is all based on who you are, right? Test is all about coming into known information. So it's all about you coming more of soul remembering. So when Vega comes in communication, teleports you into a planet line center, you're going to start to remember more and 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 more, right? I had to go through it. I went through so many reactions. Right? It's like Operation in the 80s, you know, the guy's lying on the bed and basically you got this thing to pull out, you know, you can't touch the body. You have to pull it out without touching it. I remember that game, Operation, and his nose lights up. So little things like that. It's just about soul remembering, and it's all about you already having the known information. Okay, so it makes it easier for everybody. You know, when the Rebellion Alliance, they'll be waking up more to this, and there's, okay, now I know who I am. So it puts in a high level system rotation, right, to its calculations. Hold on a sec. So I can channel off now. I can take my earpieces out. It's just certain levels I have to keep them in, right? Because I don't want you guys to have distraction line interference when I have my programs on so many computer lines, right? Because you won't be able to hear me. A lot of people hear me as a robotic. I'm not a robot. I'm a computer and all levels of space-time track system. So, but I plug these in, right, to a certain level to calculations and modifies its system because I communicate on YouTube between 20 minutes, half hour, 45 minutes, an hour, 2 hours at the most. I don't want to go any more than that through calculation because everybody's going, you know, because I do like, you know, how movies like 120 minutes and I do like 6 hours in 2 hours. That's a lot of information. Same with Space Discoveries 1 and 2. And I'm going to do 3. I'm going to do season 3. So I'll keep you informed of that. All right. This is one is more about what happens with humanity when they come into their holographic world. Right? This is a legacy of me. So it's true understanding what you guys are up against. And I'd like to go through the correlation lines, center, position, locations. So season 3 is going to be the future line connection. So it's going to be really exciting. It's going to be a mini-series, but you have to understand the all levels, how it comes into season 1, season 2, and season 3. So I'll keep you informed of that. Yeah, exactly. You guys are at different space and time. You have to find the balance with your position locations. Once you hit that channel line center, you understand your voice and grid patterns. But like I said, I put my ears line connection channels in there because you hear nothing but computers in the background. And they say, whoa, I know where commander is. Right? So if you know where your commander is, you're extremely high position. If you don't know where commander is, you're not in connection to space. Right? You're in your space, but you're not in my space. That's the protection. That's the value. That's the template. So you have to truly understand how to connect to all these things. Because planetary systems have protection in all levels, guys. They have their E-fields, they have their E-forces, they have their intelligence, they have their communities, they have their computers. They protect themselves, especially when somebody comes onto their planet. You're a stranger to them until you're not a stranger. You understand? So it's important you understand the data processing with the test reviews and evaluations, because the more high rise you go, the more respect you get to that connection. Okay? So, yeah. So excited for the Rebellion Alliance. Yeah, this is big for them because they're waiting for it, right? And it's everything. See, the thing is, too, I get a lot of confirmation who's ready and who isn't ready. And they already know that they're ready or they're not ready. Okay? So this is how I know exactly who's going to do it and who's not going to be able to do it, because there's no right or wrong. And like I said, this is all about soul remembering. All right. So it's all about understanding, not just forcing you to wake up, but forcing what already you know. So a little quiz to that connection is to understand, don't think of the planet. Think of getting out. Don't think of being lost. Think of the result. So this is what I had to go through, right? And this goes through anybody that wants to go with that position line connections. I was telling you exactly, big things are coming up, especially with the team. The team has to get into more formation through AI so they can start respecting you more through its value. How much do you value yourself? And I keep saying that. That's important. So when you come across the things, when you go to higher channels, you're protecting yourself every single day. So it highlights its centers in so many levels, guys. All right. Okay. But that's where everybody's going to come across that conditions into that position. Vega communications, right? That's the planet you're going to be on, line connections. But everybody's going to be at a different location of a planet. You're not going to be in the same planet. Okay, you're going to be separated. Okay. So the communication comes in extremely fast, line connections. So it's going to give you a waving of a graph, right? It's going to give you a visual board, right? It's going to give you a planetary line interference. They're going to teleport you. They're going to planet you on line connection to planetary location, put you in the ground line center of planet position. Okay. You're on your own. So it's kind of like being in a maze for the first time. So the box line center to rotation, you be in this to the cube line center rotation. You have to assume how to get out of this location. This is you, right? So it's good luck to Rebellion Alliance. There you are. You have to learn how to get out of it. But remember, it's not just the box line center. It's in position to a location like this through kind of line conditions. So it's all about understanding what you're looking at through line connections. Anything through connections can high-rise line position locations. It's going to be all levels of shape, line condition, interference location. To understand how to get out of these through its equation line condition to its division. All right? So that's what the team's going to be in. Trying to get out of it, trying to understand what it is. Okay? Because not everything is the shape of a circle. Okay? Your perception will precede line interference. So Vega communications will know exactly where you are at through your chakra system of communication. Where you are with your program, where you are with your spine, where you are with your signals, where you are with higher level with your connection to your UFO directionalized system, where you are with nature, where are you with the grounds, where are you in space, where are you in time. Okay, so that's where Vega comes into high level system. But they're going to send you a graph of a visual board to its location. Right, so everybody's going to be at a different planet line center. Good luck. All right, so basically, all right, so let's shorten the stem interference to go into line connections. Let's get into the galactic forces of 369 plateaus. Now, I'm just going to give you a little rerun on positions for the 60 rotation line centers for their galactic forces as they come into the GFLs for the first time. That's where you guys will come into, Galactic Federation Light. So once you come into the Galactic Energy Core, you come into your federations of light, track system locations. You guys will go into a fleet school. I will assign, teachers to you. So it's a practical level system. It's based not only to its location. 3 track line connections to its vision line system, to its planet location line connection. Right? So everybody would be in their own classroom line connection to its position line system. Okay? To its connection. All right. So that's something to look forward to, once you come into positions after I finish the confirmation from the Rebellion Alliance, because they got to come into their atom light / light. That's where they're coming into. So they're getting more connections to the molecular light structure locations, not the light traction, just the light interference, because they're not in that high position light connections. But their mind is going to be extremely high position to high light system, to nature locations, to its crystalline system, right? So they're going to be acceleration mocking line centers through acceleration locations. through body systems, right? So it's fascinating when we come across these things to understand how powerful it is when we reach these levels, guys. Okay, it's very, very incredible to see these things, especially when you see all level of you and what you've achieved over time. So evidence, yeah. Okay, let's see here. Oh, you're new. Ender Walker. Okay, Ender Walker. Anybody that's new, you can go through my connections on my TikTok where I go into plateaus. I open up your track system, your body position for the first time. You come into the birth line center, Mother Earth, opens up your heart line center, puts you in the allocated position of time. You can join my school after that, but you have to be activated. You understand my information. It's multitude level systems of universal locations. Talk to my team, they can help you. I have moderators, they can help you out too, right? We all have to help each other. We have to get back line connections, especially now, because Mother Earth is centering her position line connections to space and only, and Father's tracking the system to all communications and weeding, cutting off all light workers that don't reside with his position. So you have to take this serious. Okay. So it's trying to understand why this is done. And I keep saying that. Why is this done? Why is this done? So you can get a true understanding of what space and time is inside you. And now's the time for you guys to wake up through the modifiers. Your simulators and all location position. Everybody knows what a simulator is, right? It's a practical level unit. Has a screen, has a runway. You know what it is, right? So it's the same thing, except you're in space and you do it on your own, trying to understand the geometrics of you. That's what this all is. Everybody references God as something else. There's no track system. There's no ground system right there at the location. So you're off all levels of activation to your core and your computer connections are resistance. Resistance. You don't want resistance. You want balance. Countermeasure of balance, all of the systems, space and only, especially time code line system. So your structural line connections is truly understand how to get into your formations of your space, of you, time clocking of you, right? Try to understand what your watch is. It's a teleportation device. How do you travel through it? You should already know. So it's given to you once you understand more about its awakening and what the soul is there for. It's a purpose for you to understand, to remember. That's all this is. That's all this is. All right. So when you wake up from that, okay, you get more of connection to yourself, to your activation of your chakras. Communicate with that line connections, right? Get into your breathing, get into your spiritual guides. Spiritual guides are just a navigation. They help you, they guide you, but they'll do everything. You do the rest. So it's your job to get in these positions. For all the new viewers, if you want to get into your activation lights, you can go through my email. I'll tell you exactly what you need to do, right? Or you can go through high-level system rotations. It all depends on what you want to do with your activation core system, right? But you all have to get in the grounds. That's what we have to understand. You have to get into your grounds, right? Once you get in your grounds, everything falls into place, right? Grounds is everything because that's what we live on, right? So understand the central line system to its positions, right? The chakra system. Now, again, you have to understand this. I'm doing this again so you get a true understanding of what is going on with you and how it goes on all levels of its DNA, right? So it's the fish on the right and fish on the left, right? It goes in the central line system to its location. Drops down into the seat of the soul. Okay, it comes into the yin and yang. Oh, there you go, yin and yang. See, that's what you need. That's all you need. So if you understand that positions, you come into a cone. Its location, right? You come into a bar graph interference, okay, which is your DNA track system. It's very powerful when you see these things, the location, guys. All right? That's how you start. Opens up the track system to the grounds, electrical lights. Let's change interference. You come into your flux capacitor the first time line connections. Opens up all division line connections. Its position, all right? So your job is to understand how to get into electrical lights of you through connections, because that's what you are. You are the flux capacitor of time travel locations, right? See, arms, face, legs, see? So the yin yang is positions to the computer operation line center, which is center rotation to the vessel. right? It's a vessel before it becomes all levels. So you go higher altered states of the mind, and then you realize it is the mothership. And the circuitry board, okay, which is the motherboard, okay? That's the highest formation. Circuitry board and motherboard, right? That's the central line system, 3, 6, and 9. That's your third eye. To your position of perception and what you live through its existence and how you see yourself every single day in your physical alignment. You live the physical alignment, that's who you are. That's who you are. That's the life you're going to live. But you can't do that anymore because nature is extremely high in line center right now through the earth line connections of Mother Earth. Mother Earth is a position and it's going to reject all levels of dark line system. Okay, so there you go. First track line center is the ground line system, yin and yang through rotation, power line system to see the soul locations. As the fish come up, comes into the birth line center of your 3, 6, and 9 platform locations. Okay, mothership, circuitry board, motherboard, right? So this is a Trinity stand. More comes out of the mind system. Now, for all the new viewers, just get into your breathing, get in your activation line connections. If you have any problems, you can go through my email. I'm happy to help you and guide you and put you where you need to be. But you got to get your grounds on all levels. Okay, you get your grounds. Now you're on Mother Earth. You're stepping on Mother Earth, right? And it's important to understand these things because you take your shoes off, walk on the ground, get used to the grounds, get used to the vibes of the grounds, get used to electricity. So you're walking on the grounds. That's what I did, right? Your soul tells you to do these things. Walk on the ground with your feet. Feel the absorption. Feel the amazing traction. So the centerline system, right? So wherever you go, you're stepping to Mother Earth. Electrical lights come up to your feet line center, right? So it sets off vibes to its position. Right away. You come over, here's a tree, right? You put your hand up like this, all right? Tree activates its line connections, all level system, right? Comes in the ground line center, connects to your ground line system. That's what it does, right? Activates you in the communications, understand you through plasma interference. You come out of your higher self line system. Whoa, now you're communicating with the tree in this dimensional line system. Hello, mind telepathy, one another through location. All right? That's how you communicate the grounds with the tree format line system. So, and this is one compilation, one line center to simultaneous locations in graph one position. All right? So it gets complicated, but it's a lot more fun. So I recommend anybody that goes to the activation circle for the first time, take off your shoes and go on the grass. Get connected with Mother Earth so she can get connected with you. Understand? It's much easier if you understand your senses and why you have them in the first place. It's how to use them. That's all it is. You have to learn how to use your senses. Those are tool sets for you guys. Okay? Better senses of smell, listening, seeing, touching, feeling, tasting. That's what it's all about. Connecting to your soul. The yin and yang is position of you through the male and the female of you. That's the balance line center. See, Mother Earth has that, and Father Space has that. Right? So if you put yourself in that position, you understand how important it is to live on your Earth. Okay? So once you're in the central line system of its Earth position, the track system of humanity comes back into its alignment. Then we go on to the holographic of its Earth, which is at the center now location of 5D, which puts everybody in telepathy of communication to yourself and to each other. Okay? So it's great to see new people. Hope that helps you out. If you want to get in your activation lights, you'll never understand me. And I'm being honest here. I'm way too high in all level system. I'm 5,000 years in the future, line connections, guys. 7,021. You're in 2021, right? My high-rise team now understands these things. I made a telephone call to Jill. I gave her a code number and she got it, 0001. She broke down and cried. She couldn't believe it. Her commander called her from 5,000 years in the future. You understand what it is to the ground line system. It allocates positions of time location, getting relationships with yourself of Mother Earth, friendship, relationship, and partnership. You can't have rejection to Earth, guys, because you live on it. You go outside and you got weather coming at you, it's going to blow you off if you're not at its vibration. And that's why we have to be cautious, because it connects to all cycles of its connection. We have to interline an interdimensional line system and get out of the ego line conditions of everything through its past reference. Okay? You can't reside with Mother Earth in your past connections. It will reject you in a high level system rotation. The Earth is extremely high in vibration now. So if you understand that position locations, and when I say Earth is high rise, I mean it's in its holographic of its center, which is the now. So it's in a digital lining coming into the singularity simulation. You guys are all set up in your game, but you have to be at a certain vibration to understand Mother Earth, to understand Father Space. Okay? You just have to have the basics. So you come into a new alphabetical alignment of yourself. New code reference, new code frequency. Understand your positions and why you're in this position in the first place. Right? So you have any questions, please feel free on TikTok. I'd be happy to answer all your questions. Using ground equipment? No, that doesn't help. That diffuses the argument line interference. So you're not connected to the grounds. Very important if you're meditating in high line system to position locations. Take out change. Take off your watch. Take off your jewelry if you're going to travel, especially when you're in positions of 50 chakra locations, right? If you haven't blessed anything through your rings, anything through your necklaces, you have to understand you're connecting to a ground that is extremely high in position to your allocated position of time locations. All right? So don't have a quarter in your hand and meditate. It's off signaling its location to the ground surface. Don't do that, right? So take out your change, take out your phones if you're going to do the travel line system, because Mother Earth is an extremely high vibration to the heart line system now. So it's very important that you don't have anything through the ground line system of the seismograph system. Okay, let's say you're in your tool shed or you're inside and you're up against things like metal, right? Make sure you take it off and put it away, because if it's seismograph line system, it's going to interrupt your position locations to Mother Earth and attract system to its location. It's going to change your reactor interference. It's very important you understand these things, okay? Because when I meditate all the time, meditating is a way of living. It's the way you see yourself, perceive yourself every single day, how you do these things through your thoughts, a manifestation to its creation, to its realization, to its imagination. So the more you go to high-rise positions, Mother Earth is going to understand you through your rotation, because you're going faster, right? Especially when you guys are coming into your 60s. So don't have anything in the area, anything metal, anything copper, anything wire. Push it away, move it away. Just have the grounds, okay? Because you're interrupting her signals. Very powerful, you come in these position line connections, right? And don't have crystals in your hands, because you're already connected to your energy, guys. You only use crystals, okay? This is very interesting, okay? I'm going to go on TikTok and explain to you guys. You can't meditate with crystals and meditate at the same time. You're opening up the mind, but confusing the crystalline system. Because remember, the crystal is a different activation than you. Your body system is different, because you're looking at I'm 185. That's a lot of energy. That's a source energy light connection, interference to the ground line system, Mother Earth, and space, the travel line connection, planets, intelligence, AI connection. Now, if I add crystals to my hands, it changes the direction and it confuses its alignment to Mother Earth of its position. Right? So when you're going in positions, okay, don't use crystals. Only use crystals if you want to get into higher position line center. Don't go into position of thought connectors. So it's getting complicated now, because
see, Earth it's at its level and it's in its center, right? So when you guys go through high level system, alter states, because you're in 50 chakras, you're going to go through higher levels of energy. And the track system of the ground line system has to be in its position line conditions. If you interfere in line position, you're taking your crystalline center with your position location to its portal location. You don't want to do that because you're going to off-cycle locations to the galaxy, and you're going to lock division line centers and crack the surface of its universal system location. It's very powerful, right? So you use crystals, okay, just by using it through a high-level system of breathing through its line connections, right? So you don't want to open the mind line center. Just look at the crystal, focus on the crystal, and that's it. That's all you have to do because your body's already activated. So you're acting in your body plus the crystal. You can't do that because it's two different division line center rotations. You'll confuse Mother Earth. Understand? Because Earth is not at that level anymore. Earth is in its center line system, which is in its holographic world of its digital line system. Okay? So it's amazing how it tracks the system, right? Through space and anomaly. It's like, whoa, what happens now, right? You got to be cautious in what you do and how to do these things through being aware of what's around you, right? What's around you. That's the importance you got to come across, right? So if you want to use crystals, let's say you have a bad day. That's fine. Look at it, focus on it. That's it, right? Don't open up the mind center because you're already energy. The track system will confuse the alignments of Mother Earth and confuse all levels of positions of planets of Father. You guys are in 50 chakras. That's extremely, I'm not sure you know exactly how fast you can go, but you're extremely high in acceleration. And I mean high, because remember, the individual line center pocket location to position is 7 track systems, communications with line system. Okay? Chakra system is 7, but you have 12 in your birth line connections of its navigation to its seed pod. Everybody is a starlight interference. Okay, you're star seed, right? But not everybody's a light worker. But you're all light. So once you know how to use your light inside, you don't need to use crystals. You don't need to use crystals if you know how to use your system, right? I have a friend of mine, he's in the 14th dimension, he's a reptilian, very fast on rotation line. He's geometric pattern. He can change weather and make it rain, but he has to have crystals to activate. Because he's got his mutation line center in there. Because he uses 144,000 crystals, like he's got, and they're expensive. Crystals are not cheap, especially if you get one like this. So he's got the base and he's got the tip. Base of Mother, but he knows how to use it. See? Because the thing is, the track system and its location, you guys are your energy source, right? You only use crystals through focus because you're already activated. So if you pick it up, it's already activated through you. But if you meditate, it changes position. It changes the correlation line center to Earth of Mother position, okay? And you get notifications and confirmations, right? And then I'll get the call and say, okay, what just happened now? Because once you channel on to my station, I know exactly what you just finished doing, right? So it's very important that when I bless your digital line centers to crystals, because that's all they are, the crystal realms, they're very powerful. They're already energetic. They already have their vibration, so you don't have to activate it. It's already activated. So if you pick it up, just focus on it. Don't meditate and go like this, because what are you doing? You're overloading everything through your energy and your soul light generation light connections to your crystal connections. You don't need to do that because the crystals are already blessed and activated. So when I say they're activated through their digital line system. You have your digital code. It's a thumbprint, right? So you don't need to meditate. You just pick it up and it's already meditating. It's its own intelligence. That's what you guys got to get into form of. Crystal has its own intelligence. As soon as you pick it up, it's activated already. You don't have to activate. You don't have to meditate. Just basically what you want to say to the crystal, right? The mind has to be at ease. If the mind is traveling and the crystal is traveling at the same time, what are you doing? You're combusting. You're sending a cluster interference line channel to a galaxy line center. It's going to lock its connections and it's going to destroy the crystalline center in position to the center location. Okay. So this is the Trinity saying you come in that position, location, line system. All right. Hawk, no. No. In position, not at 50 chakras, no. 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 If you want to know, I'll tell you exactly. So I just want you guys to be prepared, right? Because you're an energy source already. And the more you go high rise, the more you go through vibration of light, right? So the crystal already knows you, your body traction of vibration. You don't have to activate the crystals because they're already activated, right? A lot of people aren't aware of these things. As soon as you pick it up, it's activated. You don't have to go through meditation. Sound bowls. What do you think those are? Right? Same thing. You have to know what you're using. It's all light language. Everything's light language. Multi-language, the universal line conditions. Right? So it's important you understand these things. Right? So, because I don't use crystals. I am a crystal. It always important space and time. So this is true understanding. Some people prefer to have crystals. That's fine. Just don't meditate. I mean, meditate in the way of opening in the mind, because you're going to confuse the crystalline system through its location and confuse Mother Earth through its track system of its heart. You're going to disassociate your system. Then they're going to put you back in the ground line system rotation. Because crystal is different intelligence to Mother Earth. Because it's a different anomaly, guys. See, the crystalline system, you have so many level systems and rotations, right? You have the amber. You have the sapphire. You have the topaz. You have the emeralds. You have the diamonds. You have the rubies. You have the connections to the amethyst. That's me. Purple, right? You have to understand what those crystals do. It's all healing, but what is it? You have to understand what it is. They're all quartz. They're crystal quartz. We use those for travel recognition of time through Vega communications. Vega is a crystal planet. That's what Vega is. Right? So if you get a true understanding why crystals are put on the earth, you understand how to use them. It's all done through all your emotional graph connections with Mother Earth. Right? She deals with it every single day because you're on the grounds. But you got to find the foundation of the ground and what you're dealing with, because the topaz is different from the sapphire and the ruby and the emeralds and the diamonds. They're not all the same, guys. They're all in different dimensions, different coloration of time and intelligence. So it's already activated. So if you try to go through the mind system, you're changing the intelligence and coloration of time location to the crystal and to Mother Earth. Okay. Now this is coming specifically from her. Okay. And the voice box channels of Father Space is weeding out everybody in line connections of changing Bach line centers to people that are not light workers. So there you go. This all has to be done through traction. And this isn't the spiritual force that has to uphold all calculations. All light workers have to come back in the heartline system. That's the only way they're going to get back into channeling conditions of themselves. Like example with a TikTok video, right? Crying his eyes out, trying to get back. Saying, oh, it's ascended now. I'm finished. I want him back. I want him back. All right. So everybody's got to get back to the heart of Mother Earth, because that's the loss. That's the transition. That's the track system that you're off through connections, right? So pay attention to that, right? Can we wear decoration, just be with the consciousness, wear it because you just like it or will always influence you? Anything crystal? No. Anything metal? It all depends what it is, right? Metal is connected. See, you guys you're an energy vibration, and the more you high rise your vibrations, it more reacts to the grounds. That's why I never wear rings or necklaces. I'm too powerful in all levels of space and time. My energy would just track the system. So anything you have on changes the directions, guys. Because everything that you touch, anything you have with your hands or anywhere on your body is different intelligence of time. It comes from somewhere, right? So this is true understanding. You have to be cautious because you're coming in your solar generation lights and your crystal activations, a travelation of time and space. Your energetics and your vibrations are higher now. Okay? Remember, all positions of 12, you start off with that conditions, right? But if you go higher to higher level system, you're going higher to light, a vibration. And anything you pick up, you have to be aware of these things. Picking up, putting down is fine, but wearing it changes the position to its teleportation and its telewaving communication. All right? That's why I don't wear anything. See? I have nothing. So that's a true understanding. Same with bracelets. Okay. Watches are okay. Just be cautious on the metal face. Sometimes or steel, all depends what you're wearing, but you're going to have a reaction regardless because you guys are in an extremely high position now. So I'm telling you exactly where Mother Earth is in line conditions because she understands where you are. But do you understand where she is? Right? So we all have to be aware of these things, right? Especially when you're going through your meditations. Your meditation is every single day, 24/7, 7 days a week. You're meditating. But meditating is a way of living. That's all it is. So just be cautious in what you're doing with your crystals. Okay, your quartz, your limestones, your shales, anything like that connections. Volcanic rock. Anything that you pick up. Okay, a tourmaline. A tourmaline is an interference, so a surface line interference location. It's a two rock surface. It's two coloration changes. You have to understand the geometrics of its connection to shape positions and where it comes through dimensional line connections. So I can pick up any rock and know exactly where it is in all dimension. So that's where crystals come from. They come from Mother Earth. So, because if you go underneath the ground line center, you go 1,600 feet, 2,000 feet, you'll see crystals, you'll see diamonds, you'll see rubies, and you'll see emeralds. Because I've been there. So it's all about soul directing its system where it needs to go. That's the most important thing is that when you start remembering, you really realize what crystals are. The soul has to understand these things because you use it for travel, right? That's how we go through plasma interference. That's how we go through portals. Use your water, right? Use your containments to your crystalline connections, plasma interference, open up locations. You have your box line center location, come out of the round line system portal location, right? How to travel through vortex connections or the time capacitor. But you need your water. So you have to understand why I created you guys and your water containments. You have 70, 80% of water. The more you high rise, the more water you can pertain because you're going higher and faster and faster and faster. You start off with 67%, right? But I'm not at 67% of water now. I'm 1,000% of water. I have to because my acceleration speeds line systems to all cross systems, to all galaxies of all solar system rotations. So your water intake is very important to you, right? So, and your fire and your air and your earth gets more expansion through calculation, right? It's knowing how to use this inside your system. Okay. All right. Okay, Mary, take it easy. It's great seeing you. Let's see. You have to go. See you later. Okay. What about wood? I have an ear piercing. Ear piercing. It's attached. Yeah. Yeah. It depends on what you're doing through travel. Ender Walker, you don't have to worry about that because you're not on a high location. This is just for my team. That's 114 and into 50. So they have to really understand how to use their inner light connections interference because they're nothing but a solar generation of light of travel. Their vibrations are extremely high. So they have to get calculation modifications to Mother Earth before they go into teleportation and telegraphic connections of themselves. So, but no, when I activate you, then we can talk more. But no, not at your particular time. No, you don't have to worry about it because you're not at high vibration. I wear crystal bracelets all the time. Do I need to take them off? Yes, you do, Joe. Okay, this is coming from Mother Earth. You can put them back on after you go positions. Like this is the only time You can use your thoughts, right? But just don't open the mind. The mind is already open line connections, but don't travel through connections with a crystal in your hand. That's all. That's all you got to do, right? Basically, you can have your bracelets and look at the focus because the crystal's already activated. You pick it up, you can have your bracelets, but not if you're going through the mind. No travel. If you close your eyes, no. Confliction, notification line, center. You're confusing the heart line system of Mother Earth. Okay? So you have to start wearing plastic again. No, just be cautious in what you're doing. If you're picking up a crystal, that's fine, right? You can use your bracelets and your rings and all that because crystals, they're not as powerful as you. Like I'm 185, 90 pounds, guys. That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of travel. And that's a lot of ground, a size graph line system. The expansion is everything. So anything that comes in the width of your expansion of energy will track their system. And they'll go into your portal location. So it's very important who you're around when you're going through the mind system of travel recognition. Okay? So, but taking what I hear serious, so I will follow the instruction. You have to, because right now, Mother Earth is in the center of a holographic of a digital frame in the TV reception of 5 dimension. Okay? Same with Father. Okay? So it's all set up. It's all set up. Now's the time for you guys to pay attention. Okay? So that's good. You know, we'll do another, we're in Saturday, Sunday. So don't forget Sunday night, 12 a.m. All levels of Constellation of Vega Communications will come into the team, the Rebellion Alliance, and give you what you need to know, right? Send it to me to my email, okay, after you get the confirmation in the frame position, right? Draw out the diagram, okay, and the illustration below, and tell me exactly how you got out of that planet position to its calculation, right? Once that's done through confirmation, I'll put you guys into your crystals activation lights in the Galaxy Line Center. Okay? All right. Adios.